Yo, check it. All right, AMC apes and GME apes, we're going to be talking about the good and bad in this video. You do not want to miss a second of it. There's major news coming out for AMC and GME. We also have critical technical levels that you need to understand where we're going in the future. So we're going to be looking at that as well in this video, talking about Nvidia earnings, SPY, and much, much more. So let's not waste any more time. Hop in the charts, facts, and data. Let's go. All right, fam, what is up? You are back for another video with Datazero. In this video, we're looking at AMC, GME, and SPY, the overall stock and crypto market. This video is not financial advice and should not be taken as such. So in this video, we're going to be looking at the good and bad for AMC and GME. We have a lot of news going on. Market is going absolutely insane, so you do not want to miss a second of this update. Let's hop right in. We're going to hop right off the bats with the fundamentals for AMC and GME, and then move into technicals. So you can see that AMC right now at time of recording has 550,000 short shares available to short. So not too many short shares. You can see they've been dumping a lot of short shares, and they're becoming less and less effective with the amount of short shares that they have to use to get the price down even further. So they're using more and more short shares to get less and less price action. You can see 2.9 million short shares available to short for GME. Cost of borrow coming to the slightly to the downside for AMC. We want to see that cost of borrow remain at least over 1%. Right now we're sitting at 1.56% here on AMC stock, and you would want to see 1% or more at least for GME stock. GME sitting at 0.36%, and that is why they are shorting so much for GME stock. This is all because of the recent dilution. Now, something you need to look out for tomorrow is GDP is dropping tomorrow. Today we had Nvidia earnings, and I'll talk about that in the SPY section. But let's go ahead and go into what's going on for AMC and GME and what we can expect off of the technicals. So basically right now for GME, we have some news coming out for GME. A brand new 8K filing just dropped for GME stock. This literally just dropped right now here in after hours on August 28th. So you can see right now that I've reported about this in a post, but I want to put it here in the video. That way more people can see about it. You can see that we have a new 8K filing from GME stock, and based off what I read, it basically saying that GME stock has paid off all its debt. So they had a huge amount of cash. GME did what they said they were going to do. They paid off their debt. They're paying off their debt. And if I am wrong about this, because I want to, you can leave the comments and questions down below and any corrections you might have. But based off the 8K, what I read, basically they paid off all of their debt. And if it's not the debt, they paid off all of their credit loans. So all of their loans that they had out. So it might not be total debt for the whole entire company, but at least from what I'm reading right here, all of the loans that they had out were paid off, and instead of using credit as credit, they're going to use cash on hand or cash equivalents as credit, since they have a huge war chest of cash for GME stock. So this is very, very bullish for GME stock, and if this is the case, this is a power play move to get GME in a position where it could definitely become a SPAC, maybe buying other companies. It's just an example, but again, buying other companies and raising them up and then becoming better. So this is very, very good for GME stock. It could make a lot of different moves, especially if it's freeing up its credit lines and paying off its debt. This is extremely good for GME stock based off of that, and that could be what saves us from having to go down to this 1750 level. You can see that we have a gap fill here at 1750 here on GME stock, and the algo is going to be hunting for that gap fill. We have a massive gap down there. Algo's definitely be looking to find that. So there is a price target as low as 1750 for GME stock, and if we break below $20, that's where we're going to head. So if we lose $20, you can expect that 1750 level to be retested eventually. But what's going on right now with this brand new news with GME, that could be what's ending up saving us to hold this $20 level. And that's why I'm saying we might have a problem. And we also might have a problem for AMC stock as well. And I'm going to be talking about that here in a minute. But that's why I said we might have a problem. So if we lose $20, expect that gap fill at 1750 to be filled. Now, if this news does manage to hold us and we can hold the level of $20, then you could see a push to the upside. What I'm expecting tomorrow is to see consolidation pre-market, maybe a little bit of push up off of this hype, but then we're going to pull back and retest $20, and that's going to tell me what I need to know. Can we hold $20 as support? That is going to be the key for GME stock. If we lose $20, we have support at 1964, but I think it wouldn't really matter because I think we're going to start moving down towards that gap fill as the algorithm tries to hunt to fill that gap. So this is what I'm looking at for GME stock. And what we need to pay attention to as far as the technicals are concerned. Now, you can see that the RSI is extremely oversold, so for us to get a bounce here would not be crazy. I'm expecting us to actually get at least some type of recovery bounce. So with this news mixed in with a recovery bounce, we could be able to save off going down to that 1750 level and then start moving back to the upside, which is what we all want to see for GME stock. So as a GME holder, I'd be looking for that key level of $20 tomorrow. And do we hold that level? I'm expecting we do hold it, but that's going to be the major thing to look at because we are in a powerful downtrend right now. So we are in a powerful downtrend. I cannot deny that. You can see that the alligator is not even trying to flip bullish. So there's a big chance that we do continue to the downside, and I want everyone to be prepared for that. But this news may be something, a good enough catalyst to push us to the upside. So that's what I'm looking at for GME stock. Key levels we need to look at and what I'm expecting for tomorrow morning's price action. I will be streaming during market hours, so you guys can tune into the live stream to get more updates and predictions as far as that is concerned. Now, let's go ahead and move into AMC stock and show you what's going on for AMC and what I'm looking at based off the charts, facts, and data. So AMC stock had obviously a bloody day to the downside. They wanted you to believe that this was pulling back due to SPY. I do believe that SPY may have obviously gave it some headwinds to obviously not help the case. But in my personal opinion, when you see the tech stocks go down, which Nvidia did go down, you see AMC start to push up. You can see AMC slightly starting to push up. SQQ also up here in after hours. Also, we want to hold the key level on AMC stock of 472. 472 is going to be the key level to look at for AMC stock. And this is also why I said we might have a problem for AMC. We need to hold this level. This is a key level of support and resistance. You can see that we actually broke down out of this channel, and we only have this key level of support and resistance left. Now, there are buy orders right underneath it, so we could slip briefly below it. There's buy orders like 465 all the way down to 440, and we could definitely get into those buy orders, and there's a ton of buy orders there, so that would definitely support us up. But I don't want to see AMC go much lower than 472. If we lose 472, we have a problem. We've been using this level as support this whole time since we broke down out of this channel in this higher low structure. We need to hold that 472 level to continue this consolidation. Now, as far as everything is concerned, this definitely could be a shakeout before a breakout because there's a ton of things going on next month for AMC stock. When I mean that, what I mean is the fractal is playing out. You can see that the months are the same. We had a green month to a red month to a green month to a red month. If you go ahead and look at what we're looking at here, that's the same thing that we had for the 2021 run up. Also, we're having volume spikes the same way we had. We have the green weekly buy signal. We have green monthly MACD. We have the golden cross. All of these things that I've talked about over this period of time of this consolidation, these are all things that show that the setup that we have is very, very similar, if not the same, to 2021. And we also have a short week next week because Monday is a banking holiday and the market is closed, and AMC likes to pump after those short weeks. So there is a ton of things lining up, and this definitely could be a shakeout before a breakout. But I want to see us hold the key levels of 472. That's going to help me feel confident that we can move back to the upside and start using these other levels as support and moving back up like we all want to see AMC do. Now, as far as the levels that we need to get above, we want to see us get back above the 200 moving average on the daily time frame. You can see that the 200 moving average is sitting at 487. So we want to get back above 487 for AMC stock, and we want to hold the levels of 472, not going much below that level. I think we should be able to see a recovery, but if we break below that 472 level, AMC will dump, and I want you to be prepared for that. So I need you to understand that if we break below that level and go to about like 450 underneath that 465 buy wall, you're going to see AMC start to pull back in a big way. So this is what I'm looking at for AMC stock. Let's go ahead and move into SPY and show you what's going on with SPY, and then Bitcoin, and then finish up this update. So SPY obviously pulling back here in the close because Nvidia had earnings. Nvidia did beat earnings, but it eventually dumped to the downside. It was a lot of swinging going on, but it eventually found its way to the downside, breaking down out of this overall bear flag structure that I talked about in the live stream. So this is showing you how technicals can often tell you what's going to happen before the news comes. You can see that we had this move down, this bearish consolidation, and it led to another move down, bringing Nvidia to the downside in a big way and bringing the entire market with it. This was the market mover. I talked about this. We have GDP tomorrow, which is going to be another market mover, but this is absolutely huge and letting us know where the market is going to be heading. I think we're going to see more downside, in my personal opinion, for SPY because of this overall downwards movement for Nvidia. Now, the reason why it did dump even though it beat earnings is because these valuations are unsustainable. The earnings levels are unsustainable. Nvidia had to crush earnings to impress investors, and just beating earnings when the market already expected them to beat earnings is not enough, and that is why Nvidia is coming to the downside. And again, you can see even major mega cap stocks, even if they beat earnings, dump. So depending on the circumstances, these types of things can happen. The market was already expecting a win, a slight win. They only got a slight win. Investors were not impressed with that. They needed to see better for the guidance that just didn't come, and now we're seeing Nvidia move to the downside in a big way, taking the market with it. SQQQ up here in after hours, up 2% in after hours, working on this gap fill, pushing to the upside. So congratulations anybody who played SQQQ and made bank off that. As far as SPY is concerned, we need to see if SPY can get back above 556.64. If SPY can get back above that level, you could see some recovery, but I think what we're going to see is an overall downtrend, in my personal opinion, because SPY is setting up for a nasty double top. So you can see on the smaller time frame right here is a double top on the 4-hour time frame. If we lose this level here at about, and let me go ahead and zoom in so I can see it clearly, 555.23. So if we break below that level and confirm it as resistance, it's going to play out this double top, and that's going to drop us to the downside in a big way for SPY, and that's going to play into a macro double top. You can see on the bigger time frames that double top could lead into a much larger double top, which could send SPY flying down. Now this is projecting out into the future, just the same way that I projected this possible double top. This is projecting out in the future, but if we did come down with that micro double top into this macro double top, filling these gaps, you could see something like a huge head and shoulders form for SPY, taking us way to the downside. So I would expect a bounce after we come back down to fill this gap. So let's say this top came and then we did this double top coming all the way down. We would get a bounce here, but once we came below this support and resistance here, you would see a head and shoulder structure. Right here's your shoulder, right here would be your head, and right here would be your whole entire shoulder, and that could send us back down to fill all of these gaps on SPY. Now this is projecting way far out into the future, but this is something we could potentially looking at as SPY sets up for a nasty double top and or head and shoulder structure on the macro and on the micro. This is what we're looking at on the micro. You want to watch this level first, that 555.23 level first. And if we lose that level, you're going to see SPY come down in a big way. So that's what I'm looking at for SPY as far as a recovery and or movement to the downside. If we see a break below that 555.23, expect much more downside if we use that as resistance. We could see a recovery if we break above 556.64. I think we're going to see more continuation to the downside, in my personal opinion, based off the charts and data. Alligator in a very strong downtrend. You can see it's already starting to shift on the 4-hour time frame. Hourly time frame, very strong downtrend. Red MACD, and then all of the other indications are telling me bearishness as well, because the RSI was just way too overbought. SPY was too frothy. Also Nvidia earnings, all of these things are saying downside for me. And then we have GDP tomorrow as well. GDP dropping around 8:30, so watch for that in pre-market. So that's what I'm looking at for SPY in the overall stock market. Let's go ahead and go into Bitcoin and then wrap up this video. So Bitcoin getting a bit of a recovery. Obviously, we want to see Bitcoin above 61.3K. I think Bitcoin is making a higher low overall, and Bitcoin did get a dump to the downside here. It was basically
what I heard, this is not official yet, but I think it was Mt. Gox selling more BTC. And these are the same people that tried to orchestrate a BTC dump before. I've talked about this on the live stream. Bitcoin, they can't print or dilute like shares. They literally have to shake you out. So there's only 21 million Bitcoins. They literally have to shake you out and make you sell it to them. So they try to do these dumps to the downside. Bitcoin is also very, very illiquid because it's trading 24/7. So if you sell a lot of BTC, it can cause big moves. And if you buy a lot of BTC, it can cause big moves. So we've seen this big dump to the downside. Nothing major in my personal opinion. We're making higher lows. You can see higher low, higher low, higher low. So this is bullish overall. I think they're trying to shake people out. And I think Bitcoin on the macro is going to continue to the upside in my personal opinion. So this is what I'm looking at for BTC in the overall cryptocurrency market. This was your daily outlook and prediction for today. Everything you need to know about stocks in crypto. AMC, GME, things are getting crazy. Also, GameStop earnings. GameStop earnings will be on September 10th. After market hours. If you want to support the channel in a different way, you could check out the merch store. We did just get some new drops. We're always getting new stuff, so you can check that out. Link in the comment section and description below. If you want to support for absolutely free, just hit that like button and subscribe. And as always, I appreciate it if you watch the end of this video because so few people watch the end. As always, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out.
All right, y'all, that was a video. If you found it informative, go ahead and drop a like, press subscribe for more content like this. I appreciate it if you watch the end of the video because so few people watch the end and it truly helps me out. Thank you for supporting the channel and community. And as always, y'all, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out.